Relationships are complex, yet the key to unlocking their potential often lies in understanding the fundamental differences between men and women. In Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, John Gray explores how men and women think, communicate, and approach relationships differently. By offering insights and actionable advice, the book provides tools to bridge the gap between these two alien worlds, fostering love, understanding, and harmony. The Martian and Venusian metaphor. John Gray uses a creative metaphor to explain the core differences between men and women. He imagines that men are from Mars, a planet where logic, independence, and problem-solving are celebrated. On the other hand, women come from Venus, a world that thrives on emotional connection, nurturing, and communication. While these differences are natural and even complementary, they often lead to confusion and frustration in relationships when misunderstood. Martians are solution-oriented beings. They approach life with a mission: to solve problems, achieve goals, and feel competent. When faced with a challenge, they retreat into their metaphorical caves to think, strategize, and resolve the issue on their own. For Martians, asking for help can feel like an admission of weakness, so they prefer to rely on themselves. This trait is not about shutting others out, but about regaining clarity and strength in solitude. Venusians, on the other hand, are driven by their need to connect and express emotions. For them, sharing their feelings is not about finding solutions, but about feeling understood and supported. When a Venusian talks about her day, her goal is to foster closeness, not to hear quick-fix advice. To Venusians, empathy and validation matter more than logical answers or solutions. The trouble begins when Martians and Venusians try to relate to each other without understanding these fundamental differences. A Martian might interpret a Venusian's sharing of feelings as a call for solutions, eagerly jumping in with advice, only to leave her feeling unheard. Meanwhile, a Venusian might misinterpret a Martian's retreat into his cave as withdrawal or disinterest, when he is simply recharging to be at his best. Gray emphasizes that recognizing these innate tendencies is the first step toward meaningful communication. By understanding that men and women have distinct emotional landscapes, couples can avoid unnecessary conflicts and focus on celebrating their differences. The Martian and Venusian metaphor is not about labeling, but about fostering empathy, seeing the world through your partner's eyes, and appreciating their unique way of thinking, feeling, and relating. Understanding emotional needs. Understanding the emotional needs of men and women is one of the key insights of this book. While men and women both desire love and support, the way they experience and express these needs is fundamentally different. Recognizing and addressing these differences can significantly improve the quality of a relationship. Men derive a sense of purpose and fulfillment when they feel respected and appreciated. For them, being seen as competent and capable is essential to their emotional well-being. This is why men often approach problems with the mindset of solving them. When they contribute to a situation, whether it's fixing something at home, giving advice, or taking care of a challenge, they feel valued. When their efforts are acknowledged with respect and gratitude, it strengthens their sense of self-worth. Conversely, when they feel criticized, micromanaged, or unappreciated, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy and withdrawal. A simple thank you or an acknowledgement of their efforts can make a world of difference to a man. Women, however, thrive on care and emotional validation. They feel most connected and loved when they are heard and understood. For a woman, sharing her thoughts and feelings is not necessarily about finding a solution, but about creating emotional intimacy. When a woman expresses her emotions, she seeks empathy, not fixes. What matters most is that her feelings are acknowledged without being dismissed or minimized. A man who listens attentively and validates her emotions by saying things like, "I understand how you feel," or "that must be tough," provides the emotional support she craves. Offering solutions instead of empathy in such moments may unintentionally leave her feeling unheard or dismissed. These contrasting emotional needs are at the heart of many misunderstandings. A man might think he is helping by offering practical advice, but his partner may interpret it as a lack of empathy. Similarly, a woman might feel she is supporting her partner by offering suggestions for improvement, but he may perceive it as criticism. Gray emphasizes that understanding these differences can lead to greater harmony. When men and women meet each other's emotional needs, men offering care and understanding, and women showing respect and appreciation, it creates a foundation of mutual trust and love in the relationship. Communication styles. One of the most common sources of conflict in relationships stems from how men and women handle stress and communicate their feelings. John Gray highlights these differences and offers a roadmap to navigate them with understanding and empathy. When men experience stress, their instinct is to retreat into what Gray metaphorically calls their caves. This is a mental space where they can process their thoughts, analyze the situation, and find a solution on their own. During this time, men tend to become quiet and withdrawn. This behavior is not an indication of disinterest or rejection, but a natural way for them to regain clarity and control. The silence that accompanies this retreat often confuses women, who may interpret it as emotional unavailability or indifference. Women, on the other hand, deal with stress by talking about their feelings. For them, verbalizing emotions is a way of processing and releasing tension. Sharing their experiences helps them feel supported and understood, even if no immediate solution is found. When women speak about their problems, they are not necessarily looking for advice or answers. They simply want to be heard. However, men often misinterpret this as a request for solutions and eagerly step in to fix the issue. While well-intentioned, this approach can leave women feeling dismissed, as though their emotions have been overlooked. Gray explains that these contrasting styles often lead to frustration on both sides. A woman might feel hurt when her partner seems emotionally distant during his cave time, while the man may feel overwhelmed or criticized if his efforts to solve her problems are not appreciated. The importance of listening. The solution lies in understanding and respecting these natural tendencies. For men, learning to listen without immediately offering advice is crucial. When a woman shares her feelings, the best response is to acknowledge her emotions and show empathy. Simple phrases like, "I can see how that would upset you," or "that sounds really hard," can make her feel heard and supported. This act of listening, without judgment or interruption, strengthens emotional intimacy. For women, it's important to respect a man's need for space during his cave time. Trusting that he will re-emerge ready to reconnect is key to avoiding misunderstandings. Instead of pushing him to talk or interpret his silence as rejection, allowing him time to recharge can build mutual trust and understanding. Gray's insights remind us that men and women communicate differently, not because one way is better than the other, but because their emotional wiring is distinct. By embracing these differences and adapting our responses, we can foster deeper connections and a more harmonious relationship. Emotional bank accounts, the currency of love and connection. In this section, John Gray introduces the concept of emotional bank accounts to describe how relationships thrive on small, consistent acts of love and understanding. Just as financial accounts require regular deposits to stay in the positive, emotional relationships need ongoing investments of care, appreciation, and attention to remain strong and fulfilling. Each interaction between partners can be seen as either a deposit or a withdrawal. A deposit occurs when one partner does something thoughtful, supportive, or loving. This could be as simple as offering a genuine compliment, listening attentively, or performing a small act of kindness like making coffee in the morning. These seemingly minor gestures accumulate over time, creating a reservoir of positive emotions that strengthens the relationship. Conversely, withdrawals happen when one partner neglects the other's needs, is critical, or reacts with insensitivity. A harsh comment, an overlooked effort, or a dismissive response may seem insignificant in the moment, but they chip away at the emotional reserves that hold the relationship together. If too many withdrawals occur without enough deposits to balance them out, the emotional bank account goes into the red, leading to feelings of resentment, frustration, or distance. Gray emphasizes that maintaining a healthy emotional bank account requires consistent effort from both partners. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic declarations of love, but about the small, everyday actions that show care and consideration. For example, remembering your partner's preferences, expressing gratitude, or simply spending quality time together are all powerful deposits that contribute to a positive balance. When a relationship is built on a surplus in the emotional bank account, it becomes more resilient. Misunderstandings or occasional mistakes are easier to forgive because the foundation of trust and goodwill is strong. However, when the account is already depleted, even minor conflicts can feel overwhelming and may lead to significant damage. The emotional bank account metaphor serves as a reminder that relationships require regular nurturing. It's about being mindful of your partner's needs and making a conscious effort to give more than you take. By keeping the account in the positive, couples can build a relationship that is not only enduring, but also deeply fulfilling. Love languages and giving. John Gray explores the idea that men and women have distinct ways of expressing love, which he refers to as love languages. These differences in how love is given and received can create friction in relationships if not understood and appreciated properly. Gray highlights two key ways that love is expressed: through problem-solving and emotional nurturing. For men, Martians, the primary way of expressing love is through acts of service or by fixing problems. This means that when a man cares about someone, he will often try to help by solving a challenge or taking care of practical needs. Whether it's repairing something around the house or offering advice on a difficult situation, a Martian shows love by providing solutions. To him, fixing a problem is an expression of love and care because it shows that he wants to alleviate the burden or difficulty his partner may be facing. On the other hand, women, Venusians, tend to show love through emotional support and nurturing gestures. They express their affection by listening, comforting, and offering empathy. For Venusians, love is often about emotional connection and ensuring that their partner feels safe, understood, and cared for. A woman might offer a comforting hug, engage in deep conversations, or simply be present and attentive to her partner's feelings as a way of demonstrating love. These differences in how men and women give love can lead to misunderstandings if they are not recognized and valued. For example, a woman might feel unloved if her partner is offering advice instead of emotional support, while the man may feel frustrated or unappreciated if his practical solutions are not acknowledged. In these moments, both partners need to understand that they are coming from different places, each with a valid form of expressing love. Another point Gray addresses is the issue of scorekeeping in relationships. This refers to the tendency of partners to keep track of the small and large gestures of love, sometimes to the point of comparing them. Women, for instance, may see small acts of kindness, like remembering to bring home a favorite snack or giving a compliment, as equally meaningful as grand gestures. Men, however, may focus more on larger efforts, like planning an elaborate date or giving a big gift, considering those the true markers of love. This discrepancy can lead to frustration, as women might feel that their smaller yet frequent acts of love are undervalued, while men may feel that their bigger efforts are not appreciated. To address this, Gray advises couples to make a conscious effort to recognize and value each other's contributions, no matter how big or small. By understanding that each partner expresses love in different ways, couples can create a more balanced and harmonious relationship. Ultimately, recognizing and appreciating these differing love languages allows both partners to feel loved in the way they need and strengthens the bond between them. Practical tools for harmony. In this section, John Gray provides practical tools for couples to improve their relationship by navigating their differences and creating more harmony. These tools are centered around understanding the unique emotional needs of both men and women, as well as cultivating better communication, empathy, and respect. Here's a more detailed look at the 3 essential tools Gray suggests. 1. Men, embrace empathy. One of the key tools for men is to practice empathy by listening attentively to their partners without immediately jumping into problem-solving mode. Women often express their emotions and share their challenges not to find solutions, but to feel understood and supported. Men may instinctively want to fix the problem to show they care, but this can sometimes come across as dismissive or invalidating of the woman's feelings. Instead, Gray encourages men to listen actively and offer empathy. Acknowledging and validating a partner's emotions can be incredibly powerful. This could be as simple as asking, "How was your day?" or saying, "I understand how that must have made you feel." These small, kind gestures let the woman know that her emotions are seen and valued. By practicing empathy, men can create a deeper emotional connection with their partners and avoid creating frustration that arises when women feel their emotions are not fully heard or understood. 2. Women, respect the cave time. For women, Gray introduces the concept of cave time, the moments when men retreat into solitude to process their thoughts or deal with stress. During these times, men need space to recharge and focus on their own internal processes. It's important for women to understand that when a man retreats into his cave, it's not because he's angry or disengaged, but rather because he needs time to think through things on his own. Instead of pressuring a man to open up during these moments or interpreting his silence as disinterest, women are encouraged to give their partner the space they need. This space can allow the man to return to the relationship feeling more grounded and ready to engage. By respecting this need for personal time, women can foster trust and allow for a healthier balance of togetherness and individuality in the relationship. 3. Both partners, balance giving and receiving. Gray stresses the importance of balance in relationships, especially when it comes to giving and receiving love. Healthy relationships require both partners to contribute emotionally, while also being able to receive love and support from the other. It's vital for couples to avoid situations where one partner is doing all the giving, or the other is always on the receiving end. This imbalance can lead to feelings of resentment, frustration, and burnout. Both partners need to recognize that relationships are reciprocal. It's not healthy for one person to constantly give without receiving the same level of emotional support in return. Similarly, it's equally harmful for one partner to expect the other to meet all of their emotional needs. Relationships thrive when both individuals share the responsibility for nurturing and supporting each other. By balancing giving and receiving, couples can create a dynamic that fosters mutual care, respect, and emotional well-being. These practical tools, empathy, respecting space, and balancing emotional exchanges, are designed to help couples build deeper understanding and harmony. By embracing these strategies, men and women can bridge the gap between their differences, creating stronger, more fulfilling relationships. Conflict resolution. John Gray emphasizes that conflict is inevitable in relationships, but how couples handle it can either strengthen or damage their connection. One of the central concepts in Gray's approach to conflict resolution is that timing and tone are crucial for maintaining a healthy dialogue. When emotions are running high, it's easy to react impulsively, leading to misunderstandings or hurtful words. Gray suggests that instead of immediately diving into a confrontation, couples should take a moment to cool off. This means waiting until both partners are in a calmer state of mind before addressing the issue. Giving each other time to process emotions not only helps to prevent saying things that might be regretted later, but it also allows both partners to approach the conversation more rationally and with empathy. The timing of a conversation is vital because it influences how well both individuals can listen and understand each other. If one partner is angry or frustrated, they may be less inclined to hear the other person's perspective. Waiting until emotions are more balanced gives each partner the space they need to approach the situation with a clearer mindset. Another key strategy Gray emphasizes is the use of I statements rather than you accusations. In conflict, it's common for individuals to blame each other, which can lead to defensive reactions. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," which is accusatory, Gray recommends saying, "I feel unheard when I'm talking." This shift in language makes the conversation less about attacking the other person and more about expressing personal feelings and needs. I statements are less likely to trigger defensiveness and invite the other person to listen and engage in the conversation with a more open mindset. Using I statements helps to avoid escalating the conflict because it reframes the issue in terms of one's own experiences and feelings rather than accusing the other person of wrongdoing. This allows both partners to feel safe to express themselves without fear of being blamed or judged. By following Gray's advice of waiting until the right time to discuss a problem and using language that promotes understanding rather than blame, couples can navigate conflicts in a healthier way. This not only reduces tension, but also fosters a more constructive and compassionate dialogue, allowing both partners to work through disagreements with respect and emotional maturity. Conclusion. At the heart of the book, John Gray encourages couples to recognize and appreciate the fundamental differences between men and women, rather than viewing these differences as barriers to a successful relationship. He argues that these differences are not problems that need to be fixed, but rather unique qualities that, when understood and respected, can strengthen the bond between partners. In relationships, it's easy for partners to become frustrated when the other person doesn't respond in the way they expect or need. This is often rooted in a lack of awareness of the different ways men and women process emotions, communicate, and approach life's challenges. Gray's work helps readers see these differences not as flaws or misunderstandings, but as essential components of a relationship that, when honored, lead to deeper intimacy and fulfillment. The principles Gray lays out guide couples toward creating a stronger emotional connection. By recognizing that men and women have distinct emotional needs and communication styles, couples can begin to respond to each other with more patience and empathy. For example, understanding that men often need time alone to process emotions, while women typically seek emotional support through conversation, can lead to less tension in moments of stress. Gray also emphasizes the importance of respect and compassion in navigating differences. Instead of trying to change one another or criticize the other's way of thinking or feeling, the key is to accept those differences and approach each other with understanding. This shift in mindset allows for more productive and loving interactions, even when conflicts arise. Ultimately, the book offers tools for couples to improve their communication, strengthen their emotional connection, and create a healthier, more balanced relationship. By applying these principles, couples can move beyond frustration and misunderstanding to a place of mutual respect, deeper intimacy, and emotional support. The message is clear. Celebrating differences is not only possible but necessary for a thriving, lasting relationship. The key takeaways from Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus that can help transform your relationship and create deeper understanding between you and your partner. If you found these insights helpful, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with someone who could use these tips, and leave a comment below telling us what stood out to you the most. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing book summaries and relationship tips. Remember, understanding and respecting our differences is the key to a stronger, happier connection. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.